Oh, why don't we just take a look at what's happening between Russia and Ukraine? And boy, there have been some developments over the weekend. Most of them not great, but as for the conflict itself, it's really kind of secondary at this point. It's more or less just all the warmongering that's going on and all of the horrible treatment that the Russians continue to get. Russia's first phase of war is over. Military will now focus on eastern Donbass. That's what we have for the troops on the ground, but that's hardly what's interesting about any of this. I want to hear what the man who has taken all of those talking head positions away from Anthony Fauci has to say on this one. What is Vladimir Zelensky up to? The West needs more courage in helping Ukraine against Russia. How about it's your conflict, fucker, and you deal with it? Well, I'd also listen to the conversation that if it wasn't for all of the Western meddling in this, especially from the the White House, okay, because who knows what Biden would have called for. Oh, I need to make sure that Ivan the Terrible doesn't invade into Mongolia. Okay, cool, thanks, Pops. You just here's your ice cream and go fuck off. Talk to 6 more people in a fucking empty parking lot in Poland. That will be great. Don't say anything too stupid now. More on that in a second. But no, if it wasn't for all of the... Oh, Russia's coming in. Any day now. You just watch for it. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, they invaded. Oh, we told you, see, they'd invade. Oh my God. Now guess what? We're going to sanction all of the Russian people and we're going to choke them out economically. Wait, that's not working. Well, we're going to choke them out even harder. Cool. Great. That's just affecting everybody in the West, raising prices even higher than your inflation was beforehand. Oh yeah, but it's all Putin's fault, right? So, okay, cool. So the West needs to continue to fight your war for you. You're not in NATO, stupid. You're not in the European Union. You are by yourself. You were a part of the regime that was choking out Crimea beforehand. Take a look at all that stuff. And then also shelling the Donbass region even before the Russians came in. So, about that. But no, it's the West that needs more courage. Okay, what do you mean by that? What exactly are you talking about here, Zell? So he accused NATO and the West of lacking the courage to provide more support amid the conflict with Russia, making another plea for fighter planes and more military equipment. Listen, I'm in an untenable situation, okay? I can't fight this war by myself. I need everybody else to come in and fight my battles for me, and if you won't, I will shame you until you do, because I have every single one of those puppets in the media at my beck and call. They're right there in the palm of my fucking hand. All I need to do is place a phone call, and I will be on every fucking cable news network that will possibly have me, on the left and on the right. Even your hatred of your former president, the Putin puppet himself, didn't have that type of sway across the entire media landscape. That's what Zelensky has right now, and that's why he has these idiots by the fucking balls, and that's why you're only getting one major through line of information on this. It is, I stand with Ukraine, otherwise you just get fucking wiped off of the earth when it comes to disseminating information. I've talked to the defenders of Mariupol today. How many Nazis did you call exactly? I'm in constant contact with them. Their determination, heroism, and firmness are astonishing, Zelensky said in a video address on Sunday, referring to the besieged Black Sea city. Yes, exactly, in the region that is looking for liberation away from your corrupt regime. If only those who have been thinking for 31 days on how to hand over dozens of jets and tanks had 1% of their courage. Yeah, exactly. Those brave people who are on the ground literally torturing prisoners of war, acting out, because we've heard a lot about this. Oh, any day now, war crimes charges are gonna fall on the Kremlin. Yeah, okay. That's nice. Can you point to any indiscretions that have been committed by the Russians? Oh, you can't? Oh, okay, cool. But what about, I'm not playing the fucking video, mostly because it's quite disturbing, but I can at least describe it for you. It's very easy to find. All you need to find is Ukrainian soldiers torturing Russian prisoners of war, because that's what they're doing. That's what's being broadcast on Ukrainian television. Oh, I'm sorry, state Ukrainian television, because Zelensky last week consolidated all of the media under his umbrella, so they just repeat his message. But he's the good guy in this one, right? Video of alleged mistreatment alleged mistreatment. That's what they call that, shackling, forcing onto the ground Russian soldiers, okay, kneecapping them, shooting them in the back of the leg, and then also shooting them in the calf, causing extreme pain while berating them, and then not offering them medical treatment. Or you can just act like the Ukrainian doctor who didn't say this, but 2 days before the condemnation of, the health department himself said that, oh yeah, by the way, we should probably be castrating the Russian prisoners that we've collected, which is a direct conflict with the Geneva Conventions. But no, don't worry about it. We're the good guys in this one. We're just going to take all of those, incoming weaponry, which Biden's sending over and all of the European Union countries are sending over as well, and then just hand them out to whatever Nazi battalion fucking shows up to collect. But again, like we said in the Will Smith video, okay, the headlines can be a touch misleading. It has been a minute since we've used the Hill, so I thought, fuck it, why not? Video of alleged mistreatment of Russian prisoners to be investigated, Kremlin says. Look what they're leaving out on this one. Prisoners of war, just simply, Russian prisoners. Don't worry about it. Video of alleged mistreatment. It was propagated and it was disseminated by Russian state outlets. What the fuck? A video of alleged. Yeah, it's all but been confirmed, okay, by multiple sources. Your beloved sources have said it's true, it's real. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Monday that Russian officials plan to investigate a viral video that seems to show the mistreatment of captured Russian soldiers by Ukrainian forces. That's what it is. It's not torture. It's not, it's trying to bleed people out by shooting them in the leg. Peskov, who said the video contained monstrous images of torture on the part of the Ukraine military, said that the video would be legally examined to determine who was accountable. It does. You can find it easily if you're one of the old subscribers from like Live Leak and Ogrish, those old days. But the video's out there. It's very easy to find, okay? It's been recirculated on Twitter. It's on Reddit and all those other fucking worthless outlets. But if you'd like to see it, hey, go for it, dude. Spokesman added that the soldiers who took part in the alleged mistreatment, and that's what you call it. Okay, cool. The captured soldiers would be held responsible for their actions. Cool. The video of the alleged torture has not been independently verified. Yes, it has. Ukraine claims that the video have been manipulated by the Russians to make Ukraine look like a malicious force. Yeah, shooting somebody in the knee and then in the calf and then also berating them as well. Clearly misrepresentative of the people that are on the ground there, just like the pictures that are captured by NATO journalists that just show far too many neo-Nazi battalions, and especially the one that was on Women's History Day. We need to support the Ukrainian troops that are out there. Just don't mind the black sun insignia on all of their fucking uniforms. Okay, yeah, don't worry about that. What was more about that courage? Instead of, talking with the guy who apparently wants, I don't know, the end of your fucking world or whatever the fuck else you're claiming Putin wants, right? Or he's going to unleash chemical weapons any day, even though... Which is the country that has the bioweapons? Oh, I'm sorry, not bioweapons. The biolabs, which might have bioweapons that could only specifically be used by Russians. Is that what the fucking instructions are in? Like, is it just written in Cyrillic or Cyrillic? Whatever the fuck you call that, the moon rune language? No. It's the West that needs the courage in order to face the aggressor on this one, but you're the guy who's putting up demands in order to have a face-to-face meeting with Putin. Fucking weird how all this shit shakes out. Zelensky said on Monday that Russian President Vladimir Putin needs to meet him face-to-face in order to reach an agreement to end the war. During remarks that were published by Russian media outlets, Zelensky appeared to suggest that Putin needs to come and meet with him in a location outside of Russia. We must come to an agreement with the president of the Russian Federation, and in order to reach an agreement, he needs to get out of there and on his own feet and come and meet me. Yeah, that's nice. Can you confirm that you're actually in Ukraine, though? Because that would be cool, too, because you've had this wonderful background that definitely doesn't look green screened or anything like that, or couldn't easily be green screened or anything like that. No, definitely, though. But you're definitely in Ukraine, right? Under constant shelling and bombing, right? Okay, cool. While Ukrainian and Russian negotiators have held several rounds of talks, there have been few results. Yeah, because Russians' demands, we've gone over them. they don't seem to be all that intense, really, in the grand scheme of things, and I won't bother going over the 5 demands that are there because they're just really fucking basic bitch shit. And you are keeping, Zelensky, he's keeping his methodology towards acquiring a ceasefire agreement kind of tightly under wraps. He's just like, Russians, go home. Okay, cool. We're kicking your ass. Why should we just go home? Because you're bad, and the West says you're bad. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. You're going to need a stronger argument than that, pal. In response to the proposal for talks, Russian officials said that the talks are welcome, but stressed that no outside Western mediators be present. Okay, cool. We'll go wherever you want. It's just going to be us, though, and we're just going to talk about it. No, I want the world to see. And it's like, okay, fine, fuck you. We're ready to give diplomacy a chance. That's why we agreed to talks. We are resuming in Istanbul. Okay, cool. Why not do it there? No, the West needs more courage. Okay, cool. But is this some of that courage that Zelensky is talking about? Biden, I'm not walking anything back. Literally, because you can't walk anything back. Physically, I don't know. But over the weekend, like Friday, or whatever the proper time is, when he was in Poland, talking to literally 6 people. Have you seen some of the videos of that speech that he was delivering in Poland there? Ooh, God, the fucking turnout was embarrassing. But remember, most popular president of all time. So remember also, like, the empty places that Trump was addressing, too, whenever he'd go abroad to talk to people. Oh, wait, they were, like, impromptu, mega rallies that were happening across the globe. Oh, okay, cool. Right. But he got beat by the guy who couldn't sell out a Taco Bell parking lot on Tuesday. Oh, okay, cool. I get it. But what doesn't he have to walk back? Biden says he was expressing moral outrage, which is great. Exactly what you want. Somebody who can't control his emotions and in control of the theoretical nuclear football. At Putin, when he said he should be removed, but won't apologize. Then insist his 3 slip-ups in Europe didn't happen in baffling press conference. That's just a Biden press conference for you. They're all baffling and they're all insane. So what exactly did he say? We can't allow Putin to stay in charge. That's not a call for a regime change, though. He was only referring to, don't worry about it. President Joe Biden on Monday tried to clarify his comments about not allowing President Vladimir Putin to stay in power. Yeah, we can't allow that guy to stay in power. We'll have troops on the ground there soon. Okay, cool. I'm glad you didn't walk that part back. Insisting he was expressing his outrage at the Russian leader's brutality in Ukraine rather than unveiling a new U.S. policy. That's nice. They're saying he shouldn't stay in charge. No, I was just being hyperbolic. That's nice. U.S. President alarmed allies and partners on Saturday. It was Saturday. Saturday local, Friday domestic, whatever. When he said at the end of his speech in Warsaw, for God's sakes, this man cannot remain in power. Okay. The White House, not Biden himself, the White House, quickly tried to walk back his comments, saying the president meant Putin could not continue to wield power over his neighbors. No, that's what the president say. He doesn't, the president's comments don't reflect that of the White House. What? Okay. But this has been the situation multiple times, and it'll continue to be the policy going forward. Whenever Biden has one of his moments, they'll just trot this out again because it's a clown world. And the other Western leaders said they feared that any hint of regime change might make it harder for Putin to dial back his deadly war in Ukraine. Yes, very deadly, very scary. That's why he's just glassing the place, right? Oh, wait, he's not. Biden was asked about the comments after he unveiled his 2023 budget at the White House on Monday afternoon, which is a disaster that we might take a look at tomorrow. I don't really know how the topics are going to shake out, but whatever. Number 1, I'm not walking anything back. Fact of the matter is, I was expressing moral outrage I felt towards the way Putin is dealing and the actions of this man, which is just brutality. But again, which troops were the ones that were torturing prisoners of war again? Right. It's Putin with his brutality, right? Going out of the way to limit the amount of civilian casualties. Okay, then. Biden, every single day of that 79. Yeah, that's... Actually, yeah, no, we'll go ahead and we'll play that for a second because that's the speech, and that's where he says the thing.
Will never be a victory for Russia, for free people refused to live in a world of hopelessness and darkness. We will have a different future, a brighter future, rooted in democracy and principles, hope and light. of decency and dignity, of freedom and possibilities. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power. God bless you all.
God bless you all, and may God send our troops to the Ukraine thing. That sounds like he was trying to rally up the troops, don't you think? Sure seems to check out in my line of logic, but hey, what do I know? I'm not 79 years old, and I wasn't fortified to be the 46th president of the United States. Said he was not concerned that his comments would escalate tensions over the war in Ukraine. Yeah, nobody's paying attention to what I have to say, right? Au contraire, mon frère. Kremlin responds to Biden suggesting regime change in Russia. Who let the old man go? Kremlin brushed aside President Joe Biden's remarks that clearly suggested regime change in Russia. Clearly, yeah, pretty much. That's not for Biden to decide. The president of Russia is elected by Russians. No, it's a dictatorship, and Putin, he bad man. Repeated by idiots out there. Oh, it's just an extension of the Soviet Union. And Putin just uses Nazi as hyperbolic talk, and there's not that many that are out there. Why would he care that much? No, because you have literal Nazis committing actual war crimes happening right now. And because the term Nazi has been thrown around ever so much, and because the public mind has been polluted that Russians are bad for such a long time, and Putin is ultimate bad guy because he lords over the country, and he just wishes that the USSR was resuscitated once again, which should really drum up support from leftists on Twitter, because that would be the socialist state realized once again, and you think that they should be simping for that, but no. Putin's a Nazi, even though he's calling for the denazification of military forces in Ukraine who are like openly, honestly, and unabashedly Nazi in their rhetoric and in their ideology. And you even have the ADL saying, don't worry so much about the Azov battalion and their affiliated groups as well, because they're not going after Russians because they're Jewish or anything like that, which is the only thing we care about. This is actual ADL stance, by the way. I just didn't pull it up. You can check it for yourself. It's not because they're Jewish or anything, because Zelensky's Jewish and he's fucking great and all that stuff. No, they're just going after them because they're Russians, and that's fine. What a fucking joke of an organization. Anti-Defamation League. Unless, of course, the group you're wishing to defame are Russians, and that's totally okay. But yeah, maybe Putin would like to reverse this onto the United States by saying, I don't know, maybe it's time Biden, you just can't remain in power. Come on, man. Maybe something like that. Why the unabashed support for Ukraine? Just the blanket propaganda that's out there that everything gold and blue good, everything white, blue, and red bad, in that specific order. Everything red, white, and blue is racist, but everything white, blue, and red is just evil and should be wiped off the face of the earth. Well, that would be because the corruption of the Biden family and really the Democratic establishment, because it wasn't just specifically Hunter Biden who has these deep and dark ties to Russia, or I'm sorry, to Ukraine. It's also John Kerry as well, and his son was also on the same board that Hunter Biden was on. So these ties run deep, my dude. It's that those biological labs, whatever you want to call them, they're there in the Ukraine. And you know why they know that they're there? Because the Bidens and the DNC are holding the receipts. Hunter Biden helped secure funds for U.S. biolab contractor in Ukraine, according to the emails from his, now everybody says it, very legit, very real laptops. Russia's assertion that President Biden's son, Hunter, was financing biological laboratories in Ukraine was based in truth, according to emails reviewed by the Post. A trove of emails on Hunter Biden's infamous laptop, the existence of which was exclusively reported by the Post in October of 2020. Why did it take them so long to run this story, by the way? Because this story, it broke 26, so that was Saturday? And they had the laptop since October of 2020, and they could have seen all of this stuff, and the whole biological labs in Ukraine, that thing has been running around there for a minute. So, at least a couple of weeks at this point, I've been hearing stuff about that. So, wouldn't you think that they should have, if, the Post wasn't also a part of this ideological cabal of warmongering? Would you think that they would have ran the story a little bit earlier? Oh, okay, cool. Anyways, I found that he played a role in helping a California defense contractor analyze killer diseases and bioweapons in Ukraine. Moscow has claimed that secret American biological warfare labs in Ukraine were a justification for an unprovoked invasion of the neighboring country last month. It doubled down on the accusations Thursday, claiming the labs produced biochemical weapons at the Biden family behest. U.S. President Joe Biden himself is involved in creation of biolaboratories in Ukraine. Russian State Duma Speaker Double V's said, according to state media. An investment fund run by his son, should be S-O-N, whatever, Hunter Biden, funded the research and the implementation of United States military biological program. It is obvious that Joe Biden, remember 10% for big guy, as his father and the head of state, was unaware of that activity. Volodin continued, demanding a U.S. congressional investigation and a White House explanation. The actions of the president don't reflect that to the administration. U.S. intelligence officials had earlier dismissed Russians' messaging as war propaganda, but then they had to realize that, oh fuck, we in fact did verify the validity of the laptop, and yeah, there's some receipts on there that we unfortunately kind of have to spin in a certain way, which once we get to the end of this, I think I know where the narrative's going to shift after this. Follow me on that. However, Russia's new claim that the First Sons investment fund was involved in raising money for Biolabs project in Ukraine was accurate. Yeah, those dastardly Russians, they get one right every once in a while. A broken clock is in fact right twice a day. According to emails involving Hunter Biden's dealings in Ukraine, first obtained by the Post and initially reported by the Daily Mail on Friday. Rosemont Seneca Technology Partners, you know, the business that Hunter Biden and Evan Archer, yeah, they founded. Couldn't quite remember his name, invested $500,000 into the San Francisco pathogen research company Metabiota and raised millions more through firms that included Goldman Sachs, according to emails found on the computer, which were abandoned in, yes, the Delaware repair shop in April of 2019 as Joe Biden ran for president. Hunter introduced Metabiota to officials at Burisma, a Ukrainian gas company where he was on the board member, along with John Kerry's son as well, for a science project involving biolabs in Ukraine. Emails show a memo from Metabiota, officials to then Vice President's son in 2014 said the company could assert Ukraine's cultural and economic independence from Russia. Metabiota Vice President Mary Gutierrez also wrote to Hunter about geopolitical issues involving the company's research into the former Soviet Republic in April of 2014. Is that Russia or is that Ukraine? Because they were a part of the Soviet Union. Anyways, 2 months after Russia invaded and annexed the Crimea region, after they wanted to leave Ukraine because it sucked. As promised, I've prepared the attached memo, which provides an overview of Metabiota, our engagement in Ukraine, and how we can potentially leverage our team, networks, and concepts to assert Ukraine's cultural and economic independence from Russia and continued integration into Western society, her memo read. Days later, Burisma executive Vadim Poharsky wrote to Biden about the, as you called, Science Ukraine project. I hazard a guess as to what that really means, and as I understand that Metabiota was a subcontract to principal contractor of the DoD BNV engineering firm Black & Vitach. His email read, what kind of partnership Metabiota is looking for in Ukraine? U.S. awarded $23.9 million to Metabiota later in 2014, with $307,091 allocated to the Ukrainian research projects. Interesting. So the company itself got just about $24 million from the United States government. Taxpayer money well spent. And then specifically, $300,000 went to the Ukrainian project, whatever that means. Gain of function research? One could say. What exactly are they gaining the function of? Well, there's some theories floating around out there, and this is where we're just going to start to stray into different information, some theories that are out there, of course. I've heard this, and as to the validity of it, that's why I don't have anything to bring up or anything to reference on this. I've just heard it through a couple of different sources. Now, there are certain biological markers in everybody's DNA that traces back to their race, and if you just need any sort of reference to where we're going on this one, just think of certain diseases that affect certain races, whereas others don't seem affected by the same diseases, at least at the same level. All you need to do is just think of sickle cell anemia and the black population. They seem to be affected by it. Like, I know, I'm sure theoretically there's some Latinos that are out there, or maybe some Europeans that are out there that also experience the effects of sickle cell anemia, but not anywhere near at the same rate as that of the black population that's out there. That's just the undeniable fact. So I won't say it's a exclusively black disease, but it just appears that way. But when you're doing gain-of-function research, I'm not saying that's what they're doing at these bio labs. You need to be specific on that one, even though that they, the UN and all of those globalist cabals keep saying that, oh, Russia's going to take over the bio labs that are there. I'm not saying that they're there or not, even though, yeah, now they're there, but they're going to take them over and they're going to use whatever research is there and unleash it, and it's going to be used as a bioweapon. Okay, cool. So normally when you need to be doing a false flag attempt, or false flag attack like this, okay, if the Russians were going to use it and said that, oh my god, it was the Ukrainians that unleashed this bioweapon onto the world, you have to understand the situation that the party who would theoretically be doing this attack, what kind of a situation they find themselves in. Okay, does Russia have the means of accomplishing this attack? Yes, obviously. Okay, they could go in, they could overrun this facility, they could take what they have there and unleash it, if there is anything there to be unleashed to begin with. Okay, are they losing the war? Doesn't really seem like they're desperate enough to be doing this attack. And what benefit would they have on instigating the other forces of the world by committing a legitimate heinous war crime? There is no reason that Russia would be doing this at all. Now, on the flip side of this, Ukraine, because everybody and their mother is parroting that idea that Russia is going to do some sort of a false flag attack, try to pin it on the Ukrainians. So if the Ukrainians did this and then tried to pin it on the Russians by doing this false flag attack, what would they stand to gain? Everything that I just laid out prior to. Okay, do they have the means of accomplishing this? Yes, obviously the lab is there. They would best know what is there. So whether or not there's anything that could specifically target Slavic populations, that's up for debate. Would it be successful? Don't know. Is the research taking place? Don't fucking make me laugh. Are they desperate in this situation? Well, they keep saying that, oh, we need to have peace talks, but then maybe kind of. I don't really know. Zelensky seems fine going on different talk shows, trying to drum up support from Western countries. Oh, okay, cool. So unleashing an attack and blaming it on the Russians would bring in that help from those Western countries as well. So very, very interesting how that could play out. But, okay, so how do the Bidens play into all this stuff? Well, so all of this information is being corroborated by a crackhead's laptop that was left at a repair shop. So again, okay, all of these secrets, which would eventually play out in some form or fashion, why would you entrust then a crackhead to keep your world-altering secrets? Okay, well, a couple of things. Okay, was it an oversight by the Ukrainians? Yeah, probably. But did they also see a very exploitable resource there where you could have very easy access to one of the dumbest, dullest people to have ever achieved such a high level of power, even at that time just being the vice president? And you had something very exploitable in doing it with a crack-addicted fucking son? Yeah, no, that seems a very, very easy situation to pull. That's why they had John Kerry's son and another affiliate, I think, of Nancy Pelosi, or some family member of Nancy Pelosi also on those boards as well. So it was a very wide-ranging plan of people that were roped into this and made a lot of fucking money on the back of. So regardless how that all shakes out anyways, and yeah, no, they'll be able to, this would be the Department of Justice who's currently going after Hunter Biden for tax fraud or something like that, which is always just a nice cover. It's like, yeah, we can address the situation of the laptop by using it as a pretext of going after him for something, the taxes, okay? Oh, he was charged with what was found on that laptop. What exactly was he charged for? Banging his underage cousin? Doing a whole bunch of illicit drugs? I don't know, maybe extorting and profiting off of that to the United States government? Taxes! Okay, cool. Justice has been accomplished. But how's the media going to spin this? Well, the Bidens knew everything that was going on. And why were they doing that? Not for their own personal gain. Not for millions and billions of dollars that have been funneled and distributed throughout the world thanks to the help of the big guy and Hunter Biden working his magic across the globe. No, no, no. The Biden family has always been on the side of America, and they wanted to keep an eye on everything that was going on out there. That's why everybody's family members were being used as well. Yes, because they're all patriots that were out there. They knew about these problems that were out there, and that's why the Bidens are a step ahead on this one. That's where I think they're bold enough to try that. You think that they might be able to try to formulate something a little bit more delicate than that? The media, this is. Just take a look at the propaganda that they're out there spewing right now, okay? Look at what the mainstream media is running on Ukraine propaganda. You can't find a reference, even just a couple days after, of those horrific war crimes that are being committed by the Ukrainian soldiers out there right now. Biden's idiotic comments had fucking covered deep in the pages. Meanwhile, oh, Will Smith is just out there front and center. Oh my God, did you see that slap? That sure was crazy. Make sure to tune into the Oscars next year. They will just put out something so patently absurd. The people will either laugh or lap it up, or they'll just read the headline and they'll just be so turned off by it and they won't even bother to fucking digest it, okay? Sometimes this world is just so wholeheartedly disgusting. It just kind of fucking makes my skin crawl. So that's the update on Russia, Ukraine. Still sucks, still insane. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.